All right, number 10 wants us to construct a polynomial of fifth degree. 2 is a 0 of multiplicity 2, so x equals 2 is a 0. As a linear factor, that will give you x minus 2, and it said of multiplicity 2, so that means that term is squared. And then it says negative 4 is the only other 0. Leading coefficient is 5. And we want to construct a polynomial with the following properties. So when they tell us that negative 4 is the only other 0, that means that x equals negative 4. When we write that as a linear factor, that will become x plus 4, and then we have this leading coefficient of 5 here. Now, this would only lead us to having a 3 0, so we have 2 here plus 1. So since it's a fifth degree, we need to raise this to the third power. This means this has a multiplicity of 3. Even though they don't say it, they let you know that you have a fifth degree. They tell you one of them in its multiplicity, and then they say this is the only other 0, which leads you to the conclusion that it has to have a multiplicity of 3 in order to get 5. All right, so here's your setup, and then from here we're going to multiply this all out. So there are little foiling shortcuts, but just to keep it simple, I'm just going to write it all out, and we'll do it one step at a time. I'm just writing down each linear term one at a time, and I'm going to go through and FOIL them all together, and then I'm going to multiply everything by 5 at the end. So x times x will give me x squared. X times negative 2, negative 2x, negative 2 times x, another negative 2x, and negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4. So simplifying this, I'm going to bring down the 5. I have x squared minus 4x plus 4. And then I'm going to bring down the first one, x plus 4. So now I'm going to multiply everything by x and then everything by 4 and combine it. So everything will increase the power of x. So I'll have an x to the third minus 4x squared plus 4x. So that's the x. Everything by 4. So 4x squared minus 16x plus 16. I'm just going to leave that 5. I'll keep bringing it down and I'll do it at the end. So I get an x to the third, and then that will cancel completely. This will give me a negative 12x plus 16. Alright, bringing the 5 down because he's going to happen at the end, and then bring my next term down, x plus 4. So once again, I'm going to multiply everything by x and then by 4. So x to the 4th minus 12x squared. And I'm leaving a space because I will end up getting that term back, pretty sure. So I did x here, and now x here, so plus 16x. And then 4 times x cubed will give me a 4x cubed. So there's that term back, that zeroed out. And then 4 times the negative 12, it's going to be a negative 48x negative 48x, not squared, negative 48x, and then 4 times 16, positive 64. All right, so bring this down. I have 5 times, this is x to the 4th, plus 4x to the 3rd, minus 12x squared. This will combine and give me negative 32x plus 64. All right, and then bring my last one down, x plus 4, and then we're almost there. So again, everything by x, and then everything by 4, and then multiply by 5 at the end. X to the 5th plus 4x to the 4th minus 12x to the 3rd minus 32x squared plus 64x, and then everything times 4 is going to give me 4x to the 4th, 16x cubed. 4 and 12 is 48, so negative 48x squared. And then 4 and 32, 4 is 8, and then 12, 128, negative 128x, and then 4 and 64, get 256. So then I'm going to bring down that 5 once more. So x to the 5th plus 8x to the 4th plus 4x cubed minus 80x squared minus 64x plus 256. And then I'm going to multiply everything by 5 for that leading coefficient. I get 5x to the 5th plus 40x to the 4th plus 20x to the 3rd minus 40x squared, and then 5, that's 20, 32, 320x, negative 320x, and then 5 times this will give me 30, carry 3, 5 times 5 is 25, 26, 27, 28, carry 2, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, so 1280. So this looks like our polynomial. So we're going to plug that in. Plus, that's 20x to the 3rd minus 40x squared minus 320x plus 1280. Alright, so must have made a mistake somewhere. So they're just explaining what's going on here. So we got our x minus 2 and then our x plus 4 to the 3rd. And so that's what we started out with. 5x minus 2 squared, x plus 4. All right, so let's continue. And then we start to factor it out. So they did it all at once. But let's see what's different based on what they have and what we have, so we can see what's going on. It should match up. But for sure, the first part, we got x squared minus 4x plus 4, which is matching the x squared minus 4x plus 4 here. we did each of these one at a time. And so our final and the final that we have here. So we got a 5x to the 5th plus 40x to the 4th plus 20x to the 3rd. Looks good. And then we have a minus 400. Oh, so I wrote 8 here instead of 80. That should be negative 80. And so that would be 400 and then 320 and then 1280. So I'm sorry here. I made a mistake with the 80. So be careful. Could easily happen. But otherwise, the process is correct. Okay.